Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, friends. Yep, welcome to day 20, the grand finale of this program. So, we have learned many topics with respect to Power BI, right? Starting from day one, you know, uh, the introduction part. Okay, what exactly is business intelligence? Then, followed by the components of Power BI. Okay, then learning each and every component of Power BI using a use case, right? Using a data set, we have done all these things. So today we have one more topic left out. Okay, so it is nothing but row level security. So before we understand what is this row level security, we'll quickly revise what we have understood yesterday. Then we'll talk about this topic. So in the yesterday's class, in the previous session, we have understood the custom visuals, right? So in the visualizations pane, down to the visualizations, the charts, we have ellipse, and when we click on ellipse, we'll get a few more options under which we have get more visuals. When we click on this get more visuals, it redirects us to a window which contains multiple visualizations. Okay, so and we also understood text filter. So we understood word cloud. So when we are supposed to use a text filter and when we are supposed to use a word cloud, all these things have been discussed in the previous section. Yes, right. Then we also understood the concept of direct connectivity. So direct connectivity is an important topic because we are going to connect the data which is present in a database. So database is a place where we generally have the data in the form of tables, rows and columns, the structured data. So we connected MySQL database with Power BI. We integrated both Power BI and MySQL. Done. Then post integrating, we also after integrating the same process, like click on get data, then click on databases, go click on more. So you'll have a window on which you'll have all the list of options from where you are supposed to get the data. Select database and we have the list of databases, right? All the databases, friends. So that is the reason actually Power BI is famous. It allows us to integrate with any of the database, not only with Microsoft products, even with other products. Like MySQL is not a product of Microsoft, it is a product of Oracle. Okay, but still we have integrated. Then post integrating, we understood the concept of direct connectivity. So direct connectivity is like a live connection that we maintain for data freshness. Okay, so the data will be the moment you click on the refresh option, the data gets refreshed. And in general, it will be very slow because when you work on large data sets, see, as we are learning this course, it is very easy for us to understand the concepts, right? But what if you are doing, or if you're implementing the same in real time, you'll work on big data sets, right? Big data. So then generally this direct connectivity or the live connection will be bit slow. And we also understood what we have done so far. So when you are taking the data from an Excel files, offline files, CSV file, text file, JSON files, XML, whatever it might be, so all of these, they are not part of direct connectivity, friends. It is not live connection. Live connection is not established. It is import mode. So what exactly happens is, when you try to get the data from Excel file or any offline files, the data gets imported. Okay, and if you do any kind of changes on this data, the data which is present in Excel, okay, so it does not reflect in Power BI. because it is not a direct connection, or it's not a live connection, right? So all the topics we have covered as part of the previous session. Now I have took a new Power BI file. Okay, so in order to explain the concept of direct connectivity, for that I'm using the Superstore dataset. I hope all of you remember, because on this dataset only we have worked on DAX, data analysis expressions. We have carried out multiple measures, columns, and all. Right? Yes. I'm taking the same dataset because I have the required options, the required fields to work on row level security concept. So the process will be same. Clicking on Excel workbook, or you op- you load the data as per your wish. So go to the required place, then select the data set. Okay, click on the file, click on open. So you see the navigator window open, and I'll go with return orders table. This is enough. So this is the data set I am actually interested in. I'll click on load data. It's a very small topic, so pay attention. We'll make it fast. So the data is getting loaded. Yep. So it's done. You see, all of these are, you know, the different columns, the different fields that we have in our orders table, orders query. Right. So let me uh, take few columns and visualize the data. Okay. So if you see here, I have category, category field, and let me visualize this category data. So the moment I click on, okay, so you will get a visualization loaded. It's nothing but table chart. So this was already discussed, if you remember, the default visualization of Power BI is nothing but table chart. You see, category. So what are the three different values that we have in this column are furniture, office supplies, and technology. To which category does this order belong to? We can have the information under the category column. Then next to category, let me also take segment. Segment. Probably I'll increase, I'll zoom in. Right. I hope it's clear. Yep. So you see, we have category, we have segment, one after the other. Then let me also take profit that we get from different categories and different segments, and also the quantity. This is clear. Yep. So these represents a table chart in which we have the complete information with respect to the categories, the orders that belong to the categories, what is the profit that we got, and what is the quantity, okay, that was sold with respect to each and every category. Under category we also have segments. Okay, so based on the order that we give, we'll have the same columns, the order will be maintained. Right. Now what is this concept of row level security? We'll understand, friends. For example, you know, if I have done this, or if I have you know added this particular visualization, okay, and post after completing this particular chart, when I click on publish, okay, so what happens, whatever the work that I have done will be published to Power BI service already we have understood in the previous sessions, right? Then what if you feel that a person working in furniture category, okay, or if a person if there is any person who works in consumer segment, okay, or corporate segment, or different category, whatever it might be, technology category, okay, for those kind of people, if you would like to showcase only those records, then is it possible to make a filter? I hope it's making sense. You know, we cannot have a person working in the same you know different segments probably. Or I'll make it very simple. When you work in real time, will you work in all the departments? Impossible. Either you work in sales or marketing or finance or say production. You know, I- depending on the company, okay, depending on the role that you actually fit in, you'll work for the right department. And it's impossible to have a person can work under multiple departments. It's you know it doesn't make sense, first of all, right? Yes. In the same way, assume that I work for production. Okay, I'm just creating a scenario, friends. If I work for production department in a manufacturing company, okay, and would you like to showcase the data of other departments to me? I hope it's making sense. This is very clear, right? Okay, are you ready to showcase the data of sales to a production guy? Not exactly. What is the necessity of showcasing, you know, sales data to a production people, or finance data to a production guy? In general, not required. So when you want to keep some kind of security level, depending on the category, segment, department, or whatever it might be, okay, depending on the scenario, you can control your data. The access can be controlled for this user or for this role. Only we are supposed to showcase the data of this segment. If that is your requirement, then row level security helps us. Row level security was defined or was developed to help in such kind of requirement. Okay, so how can we create such kind of roles? We'll see, we'll understand. Okay, so taking this data set, whatever the data that we have, you know I'll go and create some roles for furniture people, the people who work for furniture. Okay, so assume that a, a person works for furniture department, okay, or furniture category. Why are we displaying the other category details to this person? What is the necessity of displaying? Not required, right? So in that case, you are supposed to create a role for this person, and that can be achieved through row level security. We are creating a security, and it is named as row level, right? So rows are representing the data. So in other BI tools, you'll also the same row level security is called as data level security. Both are same. We are controlling the access of data for the required roles. Okay, so how are we going to create the roles? We'll see, friends, step by step. So under the modeling tab, when you click on the modeling tab, you will have you know security ribbon. Okay, in the security ribbon you'll have manage roles, then view as. The first one is manage roles. What does it say? Create, change, or delete security roles. So in order to create a role, we are supposed to go and use manage roles. Either we can create or we can edit. Nothing but whatever has been created can be changed, and whatever has been created we can also delete. We can remove it from our security roles. So I'll create a role for a person who should have access only for furniture category. Okay, right. So click on this plus new icon, this button, click on the, and it allows us to have to give a title for our role. Okay, I'll name it as furniture role. I'll name it as furniture role, whatever it might be. Okay, then what is the table that you are actually going to use? Anyhow, I have only one, but if you have multiple, select the required table. Select the required table, then click on the ellipse. Okay, so what happened? All right, right. You see, you are supposed to give your DAX expression. You are supposed to give your DAX expression in the filter data box. So, what is the DAX expression? Simple. If the category, if it is furniture, since it is one of the option, you are supposed to mention it inside quotations, double quotations. I hope you remember the DAX syntaxes. We use the single quotations for the table name, double quotations for the fields, the values that we have in the fields, right? The same. If the category is furniture, only then that kind of data should be given, or should be given for I changed furniture role. The access should be given for this role. So before you carry on, before you click on save, it's better if you go and check your DAX expression. Verify whether the DAX expression is right or wrong. So you click on this tick mark, and if you did not get any kind of issues, so that means this is the DAX expression that we have come up with is right. Click on save. We are done with creating a role for furniture people. Okay, a person working under furniture category, we have created a role. Then I'll close it. But how can I test it? Is next to manage roles, we have view as. Yes, click on view as. So it is asking you, in which role would you like to view your data? Let me select furniture role, because this is the role that we have created just now, right? So furniture role I have selected. Then I'll click on OK. See what happened. Only for the data where the category is furniture, the data gets filtered, and moreover it's displaying in the top. You are viewing using furniture role. Once if you are done, you can stop it. Click on stop viewing. you know in this way we can create different multiple roles. See, we just created only one, friends. In the same way I can come up with multiple roles, so that it allows us to manage the roles, and moreover we are able to create security roles for the data. Not everyone in the organization should have the access for all the data, right? So in real world you'll have the permissions. Okay, so in the same way let us also create a few more roles. I'll click on manage roles one more time. So this time, you know, let me create a role for, you know, consumer, probably consumer segment, consumer role. I'm giving the title. Then I'll switch to the DAX field. Okay. So what is the category? No. So it is segment, right? Segment is equals to, you know, it is consumer. So the people who are working under this consumer segment will have the access only for this data. Consumer. Consumer data only they'll have the access. Before you click on save, verify your DAX expression, it's holding true. Click on save. I click on close. Let us also verify it. Yep. So the role is consumer role. Okay. So based on the consumer role, we have different categories. Under different categories, the role is same. I mean, the segment is same. So this is the profit, overall profit that we have got, and these many quantity has been sold across the 4 years or the 5 years of data that we have. I hope it's making sense, right? So Akhil, it's very easy to create the roles for a person who belongs to a specific category, a domain, a department, segment, whatever it might be. Yes. What if the case is, a bit complicated? What do you mean by complicate? Complicate is a person works under furniture category and he or she specifically looks only under the consumer segment. In that case, okay. Again, create a role for such kind of people who are available in your organization and accordingly write the DAX expression. Okay, let us do it. Click on manage roles, then click on new role, your title. I'll name it as furniture, then consumer role. Okay, so I'm just giving a normal role title, friends. Done. I'm switching to the DAX editor where I'm supposed to write the DAX formula. Okay, so what should be our formula? See, in category, if the category is what? Furniture. Okay, so this will ensure that if the value is furniture under the category column, only those records will be fetched, right? But are we supposed to get only furniture records? Because under furniture, we'll have three segments again. What are the three segments that we have? We have consumer, home office, corporate, right? So under this furniture, I'm supposed to get only consumer related segment data. Okay. So then we are supposed to use logical end. So logical end is represented with double ampersand. Okay. So double ampersand represents logical end. Then again use segment column. Under the segment, it should be consumer. Done. Done. Okay. So once if you are done with your expression, verify your DAX expression. So let us remove this and check whether it's working or not. Okay, I have removed the quotation mark, the closing quotation mark, and I'll check, I'll verify. Yep. You see, it's working. So you're supposed to close it. The following syntax error occurred during parsing invalid token line number 1 offset 55. So the characters. Consumer, it has started but it did not end. So probably I'll close it, then I'll check. Done. So it's working, friends. Before you click on save, make sure you verify your DAX expression. Okay. Once after verifying the DAX expression, then click on save. This will ensure you that the data from the furniture category and consumer segment will only be displayed. Isn't it? Let's check. We have the option, right, to check. So let us go and select the role that we have just created now. Then after selecting the role, click on OK. Is it working? Perfect. Exactly, it is working. So that till whatever the extent you can control the access on your data. So in this way, you can create multiple roles, not a single role. You know, you can come up with the multiple roles. After you're done, click on stop viewing. So I hope it's clear, the row level security part and all. So even though if you have multiple, no, multiple departments, multiple domains, okay, multiple fields, you can adjust your DAX formula accordingly and give the permission, create a role accordingly. Okay, so Akhil, for furniture category under you know consumer segment, we have done. So logical end, when does logical end return to? When both of them are holding true, only then it returns true, right? What if I want the data of furniture category along with office supplies or technology? Should I use logical end? Think there is a person to whom I have to provide the access of two categories. Might be he or she, looking after two categories data. Assume that furniture and technologies data, he or she is going to look after these two categories data. Then accordingly, if I want to create a role, should I use logical inference? Is it possible to have logical end as the operator between two categories, the same categories? No. Logical end does not return true when one of it is false, right? There I am supposed to go and use logical or. Let us also do this. I'll create one more role. Okay, so I'll give a title. Title name is furniture, then tech role. But these two, you know, furniture and technology are part of same column. They are not part of different columns. Okay, when you try to use logical end, it does not make sense. See, I'll show it here. So it's category column, right? The first one is furniture. Assume, let us go with logical inference. Okay, then again I'll go with category. My bad. It's not single equals to, double equals to is single equals to. Right? Then what else? It's technology. I'll close it. I'll click on the DAX. I'll verify the DAX expression. It's saying that it's true. Okay. It has allowed us to have both. Then I'll go with save. I'll click on close. Then I'll go and select furniture tech role. But are you able to see the data? No. Why? Because the DAX expression that we have used, it is syntax. When you are actually checking with respect to the syntax, it is right. But does it make sense? No. Why? I'll tell you. So this is the role that we have created. So tell me, in a single row, can we have two categories? Impossible. Can you have an order placed from both furniture and technology category? No, it's not possible, right? So double ampersand logical and doesn't make sense here. We are supposed to go with pipe. So this double pipe represents logical or. Okay, so this is representing logical or. When you use logical or, it will make sense. Either the data, if the category is furniture or if the category is technology, it will display the data. It will provide the access for the data for that user. Okay. Now, before I go and click on save, I have verified the expression. Then I'll click on save. Now I'll click on close. Let me also test the role by clicking on view as. Then I'll select the furniture tech role that just we have created now. Now it is making sense. Clear? In this way, the same approach, friends. See, first of all, I what is your requirement? Understand the requirement, then create a role accordingly. Once after creating a role, make sure that you go and test it by clicking on view as. You can test the data. Okay, once if you are done with the testing, what you are supposed to do? So this is how you create different roles. We are able to get row level security achieved. We have achieved row level security, done. But did you give the access to the persons, to your colleagues? No. What you are supposed to do, whatever you are doing will be in your machine only. Why? This is Power BI desktop. Okay, in Power BI desktop, whatever you do, the work and all will be displayed in your system, in your desktop, on your desktop only. Then how can you give the access to your colleagues? Is click on publish. When you click on publish, whatever work that you have done, that is, we have created multiple roles, right? So all these roles, whatever we have done so far, will be published to Power BI Pro, Power BI service. Okay, so in Power BI service, like where we have created the dashboards and all, there is an option called security. So go to that security option, and you can provide the mail IDs. You know, for each and every person, there will be an ID. The company will provide an official, address for the person, and when you give the person address to that particular role, only that person will have the access to that particular role. That's it. Only for that specific data, the person can view that required data. Apart from it, he or she cannot go beyond it. That's how they control the access on data by creating multiple roles. The topic is small, but when you actually do it in real time, it's really a important you know topic that is implemented in order to have an permissions on the data. If you don't have such kind of permissions or security on the data, each and every one of your employees or each and every one of your colleagues will have the access for the entire organizational data. So that doesn't make sense. What if you feel, or are you interested in showcasing your you know important data to all of your colleagues? Data is very important, friends, and no one wants to disclose it. Okay, so if you feel that only that this person should have the access, at that moment we create a role, and or if there is already an existing role, we just change the access. That's it. That's how we take or we create multiple roles and give the permissions, right? Yep. So I should also, probably I should also have to discuss how we are going to give the access for the people using Power BI service. But what happened is, previously before the session, when I'm trying to log into Power BI service, it's not allowing me to do. Uh, it's not allowing me to use it further. So that is the reason I'm unable to show it. But the process will be same. Click on publish, but before that it will ask you to save the file. So the moment you save the file, you'll get that publish window. Select my workspace, click on publish. Your work will be published to Power BI service, Power BI Pro. Then simply go and give the mail IDs for the right roles. Accordingly, these roles people will have the access only for those roles. Okay, for example, if I give a person role for furniture, there is a person, there is an colleague of mine, and he or she, they are supposed to work only on the furniture data. So I'll select the role. I'll get a box where I'm supposed to give the mail ID. In the box I have to specify the mail ID. Once if I'm done, I'll click on OK, so that they'll have the access only for furniture role. That's it. Okay, so this marks the end of row level security. It is also named as RLS. In other BI tools, it is also called as data level security. Both are same. Whatever it might be, you know, both are same. Right. So I'll quickly recap what we have done from starting, from day 1 till day 20. It's an amazing journey that I had with all of you, interacting, and we have discussed a lot, sharing our knowledge. Okay, so we started understanding the introduction part of Power BI, why Power BI is important, okay, how it is ruling in the market, okay, and why one should learn Power BI and why Power BI is very easy to learn. All these topics have been discussed on day 1. Then on day 2 we started with the installation part. Then probably we started with the components, right? The 6 components. Taking the first component, Power Query Editor, we started working on a use case. So Power Query Editor is for transformations, for data cleaning. You know, we generally use Power Query Editor. Once after learning the different tabs, different options that we have in Power Query Editor, we started with data modeling. So that's nothing but Power Pivot. How we are going to create different models, and how are we going to convert the non-normal data to normal data. Okay, so all these things, all the topics have been covered under data modeling, and we are able to achieve uh, the fact table and dimension tables, right? Next to Power Pivot, we also discussed data analysis expressions, where we created measures and columns. Okay, so it's a formula language, and we have understood a few important functions of Power BI. Next to DAX, we started with the main important topic. It's data visualizations, in which we have Power View, Power Map, and you know Power BI Q&A. The AI-driven capability of Power BI, where we ask a question, Power BI results us in a visual. Done. Next to that, what we have discussed is we started understanding Power BI service. So whatever data whatever work that we have done so far is on only Power BI desktop. So this work will be published to Power BI service, so that the work that we have done will be can be accessed by all our colleagues, all the people present in the organization. They can have the access. So for that reason, we also understood Power BI service, in which we also understood the concept of dashboard. Okay, so within a dashboard, it's very easy. If you have created a reports, okay, so probably in report level we'll struggle, but in dashboard level it's like just only pinning the visuals. Next, uh, we understood the concept of direct connectivity, and finally the concept of row level security. So these are the important and the fundamentals of Power BI. This doesn't mean, you know, we are completely, or we are not a professional. We cannot assume that just learning Power BI in 20 days doesn't make us professional. When you do hands on, when you do practice taking different data sets, okay, there are few more topics, okay, which takes us our skill to the advanced level, like report servers, paginated reports and all. So those are a bit advanced topics. Let us not complicate ourselves in the beginning stage, but probably in the coming sessions we'll also discuss, we'll try to have those sessions on the advanced topics of Power BI as well. Right. So one sincere request from my side is, any you, in order to excel any BI tool, you need not, you just not watch, you don't watch the sessions. You should also come up with hands on. You should also practice. Only then you can assume that you have learned something. When you watch the video, you feel like, you're familiar with the concept, but later on you cannot memorize these topics, right? So do hands on, work for multiple data sets, the same concept, work it on multiple data sets. At the end, probably it will add, or you'll memorize for multiple days. That is one of the success mantra that I generally give to my students. So I want everyone to implement the same. Apart from it, nothing else. So I'll close the session here, and before that, I'll take your questions. So thank you so much. And friends, to be honest, I have got a great feedback. Amazing feedback is what I have got. Okay, so this has boosted us to do lot more sessions on the upcoming technologies. So probably, as we have discussed earlier, from coming Monday, that is 24th of this month, 24th Feb, we are going to start sessions on DBMS, database management system, okay, which is one of the important skill where the interviewers are looking out for in any of these data related roles. It might be data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, whomever it might be. Okay, so even I'm expecting the same crowd, the same audience to be there and make those sessions even beautiful. Okay, right. So probably we are closing the day a bit earlier, but thank you so much, friends, for making these sessions great, amazing. And the feedback that you have given is awesome. Okay, yep. So soon, after completing even DBMS, we'll plan one more program for machine learning. Then we had lot more programs, friends. One after the other, you know, we'll be launching the programs. Your, attendance is something I'm looking out for, because in the real time, when you start working either as an analyst, engineer, or scientist, You know, the interviewers are focusing on the skill. Whatever we are discussing in class, and if you are practicing it as is, for sure you'll get a job. Okay, trust me, for sure you'll end up with a job. In the same way, if you feel that these sessions are great, why don't you share across your connections? Okay, whomever you feel if they are actually interested in learning these sessions, ask them to join and ask them to learn. Even we did not even charge anything, right? So these sessions are free and you can have lifelong access as they are available on YouTube, right? Thank you so much once again. So before we wind up, I'll probably ask my team to share the attendance link, the feedback one. Just give me a minute. So right. So friends, no feedback link has been provided. Thank you so much, for your participation and for your feedback that I have got. And I request the same, and I'm expecting the same in the upcoming programs as well. Until then, practice time again, practice, friends. Until unless we get a job, you know, even though if you are in a working professional, why don't you practice? Why don't you upskill, right? So practice multiple times and be in a top position in your career. So that's all for the day. We'll connect in the upcoming session, upcoming programs. Okay. Until then, take care. Have a great day. Signing off. Bye.